What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Thought Therapy. This is a place for you to take your life to the next level. I'm Cameron, and today we're going to be talking about a spiritual topic that I like to call Groundhog's Day. And it's an ascension phase that recently I went through. I just want to talk about it to see if you guys can relate to it at all and find some comparisons. Thank you, guys. Let's get in. So, I'm sure a lot of you guys that are watching this are on a spiritual path of some sorts and have gone through a spiritual awakening. And so I'm not really going to touch on the spiritual awakening or any of that path. I just want to talk about a phase called Groundhog's Day. Now, if any of you guys have seen the movie with Bill Murray and it's called Groundhog's Day, you know that this movie is about reliving the same day over and over and over and over and over again until you get something right. And then you can move on to your next day. Well, recently I went through one of these type of phases and it felt like it was forever. And I just want to talk about it to see if you guys can relate to it all. So pretty much I was in Australia studying abroad, and I had there was times when I had like a really tough moments there. I was away from home, I was overseas, and it was just tough for me. And I'm on this spiritual journey, and it just hit me one day that I was living the same life, or the same day, every single day. That's what it seemed like. I would wake up in the morning, and then do all the stuff that, whatever that normal day was, and then by the time I know it, I was laying back in bed, going to bed that night. And there was just this moment I was laying in bed, and I was just thinking, I was like, wow, I've done the same thing every single day for I don't even know how long, and I just feel like I'm living the same day with the same emotions, the same mindset, the same feelings, the same sensations, and it just was such a shitty feeling and place to be in. And that phase for me just was super tough. I just felt like my mind was wrapped up in emotions, and I don't even know how to tell you. I just was so unbalanced and so ungrounded. I just didn't feel like myself at all. And I just want to talk about this because, if you're going through this right now, just know that this phase is meant to be there. A lot of you guys know that the spiritual path isn't easy, and you got to know that you chose the spiritual path, and it's not something that everyone is going to experience. But this phase specifically is really going to show you what your day-to-day life is like. And if you're in this right now, reflect on what you're doing every single day and say, wow, am I doing things that are different? Am I doing things that are challenging me to be a better person? Am I growing? Am I being too stagnant? Am I not interacting with enough people? What is going on? This phase is going to show you, what do I need to change in my life to get out of this, to break free? And, the answers will come to you. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight like that. It's not going to be like that. What's going to happen is, you're just going to have the gradual awareness of saying, wow, I'm living the same damn routine. I need a change. And then you get to another phase where you're just, questioning and wondering what you should change. And then you pick and choose, I want to say, 3 to 4 things that you really know that you can change, and you fucking change them. And then that's when things start to, get the ball rolling again. But don't fret if you're in this right now, and you're just stuck, and you're just feeling super helpless, because I know how that feels. And what really got me through this Groundhog's Day phase was actually journaling every single night, 2 or 3 times a day if I had to some days, and meditating a lot. It was fucking lonely too. That was the hardest part. It's I just felt so alone, and I was reliving the same day every day again. I felt like I was going crazy, but I knew that it had a purpose. And once I realized that, everything just felt better, and the fog started to lift a little bit. And so if that's what you take away from this, is just know that there is another side to it, and you are gonna have another day that's going to be so much different and so much more alive, and you're just going to feel so much better eventually. You just have to go through these tough phases to really understand yourself a lot more. And once you understand yourself even more, you can, grow from that. And this Groundhog's Day is really going to show you what you need to work on. And, you might have multiple of these. And that's another thing. You might have multiple Groundhog Day feelings, whatever, but each one of them is going to show you a new thing to work on, and each one of them is going to become shorter because your awareness is going to expand and you're going to be able to notice the thing that you need to change, so on and so forth. And yeah, you know, I just felt compelled to make this video because it was something that was on my mind, and I hope you guys can relate to that. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know, more of this type of content to come. I really want to talk about way more spiritual stuff. That's what's on my mind. And you know, I feel like the more I talk about it, the more like what am I trying to say? Like the more like it helps me put it into words. Because you know, like on the spiritual path, a lot of times you can't explain things, but me making these videos are helping me explain it to myself and other people better. So I hope you guys get the gist of it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.